Well, good morning, YouTube. Hey guys, today is Friday, October 11th, and the weather here is absolutely beautiful. I mentioned that it's October 11th for one reason. It's because today is Mama S's birthday. And those of you that don't know who Mama S is, that's my mom. She's over in Flat Rock. I guess they're still dealing with some of the issues from the storm last week, but everything seems to be well. She's got power, she's got internet, everything's doing good. I know that the town of Hendersonville, which is where she goes and gets her groceries and everything, still some challenges there. But it's her birthday, so I'll call her later and have a good conversation with her. But today, we're cutting grass. So those clips you just saw was up at the store, or what we call the store. That's the parking lot where we park Goliath. It's the old feed store there in Peachtree. So I got that taken care of. That may very well be the last mow of the season. I did it just before we went to Tennessee, and then I had done it right before we went to Ocean City as well. But now that we're getting into the cooler weather, the nicer season, you know, it just doesn't have to be done as often. But before we went to Tennessee, I also sprayed for weeds because some of the growth around all the obstacles has just gotten out of hand. This summer, we saw a lot of growth, a lot more than usual. And because we were gone a little bit longer this summer, I didn't get that extra cut in between. So when I came back, it was overgrown. But I also sprayed here around the shop. You see, I got a bunch of weeds coming up like right there. And I sprayed them all, and they look like they're all dead. Even the area back here where we cleared out before was all grown up. So I'm gonna hit that with the mower real quick as well. Brought the weed eater with me. And I'm gonna blow up here where we cut down all the trees and made a big mess up on the concrete. And for those of you that like tractor work, and I don't mean lawn tractor work, I mean like real tractor work, turns out that right when we got back from Tennessee a few days ago, they did the last cut on this hayfield right here next to the shop. And it looks like today they're out here baling it. So they got the baler out and another tractor. I think they're still doing some raking. So gonna get a little bit of footage of that as well. Kind of funny, actually, as I was loading the mower back onto the trailer up at the store, I happened to see these two tractors getting fuel and be like, man, it'd be great if they were coming over to hay where I'm at, because then I can get to see it. But anyway, this tall stuff here, I really need to pull the bush hog out to do that. Joe finally allowed me to bring the bush hog tractor over here. It's locked up in the other building. I don't have the key to it today. But yeah, you can see that one of the other guys had taken it through here. That's why this is low. But most of this I sprayed to kill it. But yeah, I'm gonna run the mower over this area right here real quick, especially right around the building where it's kind of tall and whatever. Just wanna get rid of all that yuckiness. Well, I got most of it mowed down. Here's the problem I have. I've got a little bit of OCD sometimes in it. Times like this, it's terrible because this mower truthfully can't handle what I'm trying to do with it. So it doesn't cut good. So I end up going over and over it, and it still doesn't look good. And I know there's parts of this that really need to be bush hogged, and it's, you know, it's out of this mower's league. But yet, when I get to mowing, I feel like I have to keep going until I get it all done, even though I'm getting into stuff that I know I should really have the bush hog for, which I don't have access to today. So I probably mowed more than I needed to mow, but anyway, I finally stopped at a point. Now I'm gonna run the weed eater around a couple minutes, and we'll be done over here. So I've weed whacked all the growth down, and I did my best to actually like scalp as much as I could. Looks like they're done and they're headed out. Now, the past couple times I've done this, I've actually taken a shovel and scraped all this dirt out and threw it in a low spot back here, but it just keeps accumulating. I mean, as you know, rainwater washes things, this kind of an angle, and this is where everything catches. So it just keeps coming back, and then that helps promote the growth of the weeds. I don't have a shovel with me today to scrape it out of here, but I can always bring one back on my next trip. So now I'm gonna hook up the backpack blower, and I'm just gonna blow off my mess, and we'll head out of here. But even over here around the building, I did my best to actually scalp down as low as I could with that weed eater. So you see it's considerably lower than the mowing, but that way it'll minimize the regrowth. All right, I got the grass cut, I got it weed eated, I got it blown off. The farmer got the hay baled. So I'm done here. I'm gonna go home, grab some lunch. And I may even cut my own grass today. It's been a few weeks since I've done it as well. It didn't grow as much as this because it's not quite as sunny, but we'll take a look when we get there. Well, got all 3 properties done today. I ended up doing a lot of leaf blowing here as well. And normally I don't do that this time of year, but like this magnolia tree right here drops a crap ton of leaves in this area. And over there by that storage building, we get a lot. And off of this tree here, right out front of the house. Now we're fairly early into the fall season, and that's why I don't normally do this now. But the last couple of years, because we've gotten home so late in the year that the leaves are so thick, then it's really hard to do. And we tend to be further into the rainy season, and then the leaves are wet, so they're heavier. And it'll take me hours and hours to blow the whole yard and get everything out into a low spot. So because we're kind of dry right now, we haven't had any rain in a week. Last rain we had was when Helena came through here, or Helene, whatever that hurricane was, came through. And we didn't get hardly anything here. A little bit of rain, but not much. And it hasn't rained since. And that's been over a week now. So with the leaves being dry and not being really heavy, I thought maybe it's a good idea to go ahead and blow some of them out now. That way, when we do this next trip, we'll be gone for 3 weeks. Then when I come home, maybe I can blow it again and it just not be as full. But yeah, you can see how dry we are. Normally that's a creek right there, and it's kind of dried up. It's a very low volume creek. And this area was very difficult to blow because you can see all these weeds growing up here, and those weeds aren't normally there. If you remember back in earlier this year when we cut down all these trees here, well, that let a lot more sunlight in, and man, the weeds just took off. I mean, I got weeds over here that are 6 feet tall. I sprayed some last week, but because there was a truck and a trailer and a tractor and everything here, I couldn't get back in to do all of them with the 4-wheeler sprayer, but now it's open. I may spray some more tomorrow. But the mowing, the weed eating, the edging, the blowing, all that's done. Maybe just a quick spray tomorrow, we'll be finished. Well, it's the next morning and I'm back over here at the shop, and I filled up the spray tank with some more of the Roundup, generic Roundup killer, and I sprayed all that poison oak. When Town and I were cutting that, we both got it all over. I was wearing shorts in there, and yeah, from the knees down, I'm pretty itchy today. It's been a couple days and it's just kind of progressively gotten a little bit worse. Town was affected as well. But I've got it all done. I also went and sprayed a little bit more up at the store, just in that ditch area and along a couple fence lines that I sprayed a couple weeks ago. But I could see that there was still a little bit of greens starting to come back at the bottom. So I went ahead and put another layer of spray on there to kill that new growth before it can start seeding. And now that we're getting into our off season, I will not likely have to do that again. Now I'm just sitting here waiting for Talon to come back. He's got his truck inside the shop trying to do some work on it, and needed a tool and needed some parts. So I came back to spray here. I unloaded the 4-wheeler, did my spraying, and he had to run to the store with my truck. So now the 4-wheeler and the trailer are still here, waiting for Town to get back so I can go back to the house. Got a couple of spots at the house that I want to spray as well, and then I got to get cleaned up. We've actually got a homeowners association meeting today. And I have never attended one yet, only because they typically schedule it for August when we're out in Sturgis. This year, it's today, and I'm home. So I want to get this done and be over there by 2 o'clock to be able to attend that. Oh, and I forgot to mention yesterday, we brought the Dodge over here. It can stay here for now instead of cluttering up my yard. You know, it's almost a shame that we're gonna tear that truck apart. When I first decided that I wanted that truck, I was thinking it was in worse shape than it was. It had been probably a year since I had seen it. And I knew that we'd get a good deal on it, so we got it. But now I'm like, man, that could be a good running driving truck. Transmission's not any good in it. Well, there's just no third gear. But as long as you skip third and go from second to fourth, it drives fine. Well guys, I had actually intended on ending this video yesterday. I believe when we left off, I was done spraying the weeds and I was gonna go get cleaned up for the homeowners association meeting. And that's what we did. And I was actually gonna close the video of us walking up to the neighbor's house where the meeting was gonna be held. And then I forgot. And we ended up running late, so we ended up driving the car over there, so that like didn't work. I was like, well, I'll close it after the meeting. And just still forgot. But as it turns out, I am now the vice president of our homeowners association. Didn't expect that going into my very first meeting. And our daughter, Michaela, is a board member. Hey, there goes a neighborhood. So, you know, we plan on being here a long time. Might as well get involved. And I guess the interest with some of the neighbors there has gone down. So maybe we'll do our part and hopefully we can keep everything running smoothly there. I just hope that I'm able to do that with all my traveling. Anyway, guys, we're gonna close this video here. I've got a load of stuff right there in the excursion that I gotta put in Goliath because today is the day that we're leaving to go to Daytona. So if you guys are interested in any of that, follow that on the other channel, the regular Amsel Adam channel, the Extreme Bikes, the Vendor Life. We'll be going there to work that rally. And we just got to get it loaded. I got to get this thing pre-tripped, check the oil, check the tires, all that good stuff. I got to move it over here to the building, top off the water tank with water, and get headed out today. So I'm going to start that. So we'll see you guys later. I hope you enjoyed it. And until the next time we see you, keep those engines running.